Now, until these Hebrew come to the full understanding or the basic understanding of the intention of God creating Adam and Eve and the fall that took place in the garden, these brothers will not understand the redemptive plan that God set in motion for all humanity.
For all nations.
God created Adam and Eve, the ancestors of the so-called white man, China man, the African man, or any other man that you Hebrew deem unredeemable. He created these people in his image and in his likeness so that they may rule over all the creatures of the earth. But not only did he create mankind to rule over the creatures of the earth, he also created mankind to have a personal relationship and fellowship with him. Genesis 3:8.
And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden.
This chapter verse described how God walked and talked with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, indicating a close connection between himself and the pair. This loving relationship that God desires from man resumed in the life of Cain and Abel after mankind has fallen from perfection. Genesis 4:6-7.
The Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
So what exactly is your argument? Well, first of all, the Hebrew Nicodemulites failed to recognize the intention of God towards Adam and Eve and how it correlates to the people of Israel. The Most High purpose and intentions for Adam and Eve and his descendants were to live in perfect harmony with the Creator on earth. This intention was forfeited because of what? Because of sin. This is what these so-called Hebrew Nicodemulites failed to understand. It was sin that causes the Creator to destroy the first world, but grace that caused the Most High to save 8 people, Noah and his family, preserving life on earth, giving humanity a fresh start. It was grace that causes the Most High God to preserve Israelites, choosing them to be his people, placing them in the land flowing with milk and honey. It was sin that causes the dilemma of the Hebrew Israelites, scattering them throughout the 4 corners of the earth to equate salvation to Israel, is the lack of understanding of the purpose for all people, for all nation. Genesis 3:15.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Keep in mind, my people, this prophecy given to Adam and Eve was prior to Abraham receiving his prophecy about the Messiah and redeeming all mankind. Genesis 12:3. In the seed, which is Yeshua Jesus, shall all the families of the earth be blessed, which is to be understood as a Masonic prophecy pointing to Yeshua's Jesus, actually victory over sin and death. This is why we say that the Hebrew Nicodemonite needs to get back to the basic understanding of the purpose of creating Adam and Eve, mankind.